This is the plaintiff, Sharon Oliver. She says she bought a 2006 Ford Explorer from the defendant and was told it had never been in an accident. When she went to trade it in at Chevy a few years later, they told her the truck had been in a severe crash, had sustained damage to its frame, and she was duped. She's suing the snake salesman defendant for $5,000, the amount she's owed for fraud. This is the defendant, Gregory Cohen. He says he purchased the truck originally from auction, and the Carfax came back totally clean. The plaintiff posted negative reviews online about his company, which aren't true. She's damaged his reputation. And you can run your own Carfax on the very same truck, and you'll see it comes back clean of any accidents. Owe her money. Ah! He's accused of not being straight with a customer.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says she bought a 2006 Ford Explorer from the defendant, was told it was never in an accident, but sometime later she found out it was. The defendant says he gave the plaintiff the info he had. It's the case of you didn't explore my car nearly enough.
Okay, Sharon Oliver?
Yes.
You are suing the dealership. You've asked us not to mention the dealership's name, represented here by Gregory Cohen?
Yes.
You're the manager?
Yes.
Okay. For $5,000 for fraud that you say they perpetrated on you by lying to you about whether the car you bought from them had been in an accident.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what's happening.
On May 22nd of 2010, I purchased a 2006 Ford Explorer from their dealership. Okay. On June 20th of this year, I traded in that same truck to another dealership, a Chevy dealership. When I traded in the truck, they told me that the truck had frame damage, and I told them that the truck did not have frame damage because the truck was clean, according to the dealership where I purchased a car from 2 years ago. That same dealership, the Chevy dealership, showed me the auto check and told me that they couldn't give me the full value of the truck because it was hit. Once I looked at the auto check and it showed that it was hit in December of 2009, I called up the dealership that I got the truck from, and I relayed that to them while I was in the dealership on Long Island. They told me, no, our Carfax is clean, the truck has not been hit, and that...
What had they told you back then? The Carfax is clean?
Yes.
And you were now at a Chevy dealership and they were telling you, look, auto check. Do you have the auto
Yes.
check? Let me see it. And auto check is the competing business to Carfax?
Well, auto check is more for auctions. They're really not used at the sales level. Carfax is used at the sales level.
Your Honor, they received the car from an auction in New Jersey.
Yeah, but
They use Carfax. We have auto check.
do you use auto check when?
At that point, it's announced or it's not announced. I actually wasn't the one that purchased the car. I'm the sales manager. So I wasn't the one that actually purchased the vehicle.
It states that it was announced at the
if you
auction.
had purchased the vehicle, okay, whoever purchases the vehicle, if there's an auto check and the auto check shows damage, what does the dealership do?
We wouldn't purchase the car.
Right.
We're a franchise dealer. We have too much to lose.
Right. Well, too much to lose. You're going to have a problem selling it.
Absolutely.
Unless it's completely hidden and you're getting it at a good price. I don't know.
Page 4, it says...
Auction. Oh, what is this, though? This says 12/17/2009. Auto auction. Auction announced as unibody damage. When did you guys buy it?
We purchased the car 12/14/2009. I have that we purchased the vehicle with absolutely no problems with the car.
Do you have any paperwork from the auction?
No, I do not.
What did you just look at to
This is
answer?
the Carfax.
The Carfax has when you purchased it?
Absolutely. It's the same
Okay.
as auto check.
Take a look at the auto check. What is that saying?
No, it is saying that it was announced, but we do check Carfax. We don't check auto check.
You said that in auctions you check auto check.
Well, I personally don't buy the cars.
I heard that, but you said that your dealership at auctions checks auto check. And auto check is saying, but is this not saying even more than that, which is auction announced as unibody damage, meaning the auction house announced it?
I don't, like I said, I'm not that well versed in how we purchase the vehicles.
That's what the whole case is about.
I understand, but
Yeah, why'd they send you?
I was actually the first person to get the negative review and try and work it out with Ms. Oliver.
Because you saw that on what site?
On Carfax?
No.
Oh, on Dealer Rater.
Dealer rate.
Yes, there
so
is a-
part of your job is to constantly mine and see if anybody's
Absolutely.
trashing you guys and try to work it out.
Absolutely. Yes.
And so you called her and said what?
So my management told me that I can offer her a maintenance plan for her new car. I can offer her a few details for her new car. I can offer her a $500 gas card. These are the things that I was allowed to offer up to my authority.
Right.
Ms. Oliver was very dismissive. She didn't want.
Oh, I don't want that stuff either. If I lost see, it's one way or the other. Either she has no case, or she has a case. And if she
Right.
has a case, she has a $5,000 case because they gave her. Do you have the paperwork from Chevy for to prove the amount of money that they docked you for the damage?
I don't have that.
Well, you're going to need to get it. And you are going to need to get, we're going to take a recess now, and you're going to need to get the name and the paperwork from the auction, the purchase of this car. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. Court's in recess.
All rise. So the defendant, let's say he didn't really know and just was told the plaintiff what he knew. Is he responsible for the fact that it wasn't an accident?
I would say if he didn't have common knowledge of it, then he would not be responsible. That's on Carfax.
What do you think?
He's not responsible for it, especially if he got a Carfax. No, he's not.
Anybody think he is responsible? Huh?
No, I don't think he's responsible for it either.
How about that? Going inside the courtroom.
I understand that was a productive recess. So let me see your paperwork and let me see your paperwork.
Receipt and I have paperwork from the car dealerships.
This is good.
This paperwork shows that that you got $16,000 for the trade-in. You had said you got $8,000.
That was the balance carried over. We were trying to do the math between that paperwork and the old paperwork from their dealership.
I don't know what you're saying. Next to the words gross trade-in allowance, it says $16,000. That's the amount they gave you for the trade-in. And you bought the car for how much?
She purchased a vehicle in 2010 for $23,000.
So that would be, a
Actually,
$7,000 depreciation in 2 years. And why would that not be normal? In other words, what I'm saying is this paperwork doesn't even show you have damages.
Right, but they verbally told me that I did and I have the auto check, but the problem was I couldn't get them to send me a document stating that what they gave me as opposed to what I should have gotten, and that's all the paperwork that I have.
You understand, though, that you got $16,000.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you understand you paid $23,000 for it 2 years before you traded it in.
Right.
So where would your loss be? Why would I pulled a Kelly Blue Book for a Ford Explorer to see what the depreciation should be in 2 years, and that's just about on the money. So where would your loss be? When I'm looking at them, I see it. Okay. I understand that you're angry because you feel like you got duped. But if you're not out anything, you're not out anything and you can't collect anything. That's one. But two, I see that AutoCheck says that this was an auction with unibody damage. I saw that. I got news for you. It wasn't. Here's the paper. And it makes sense because why would a dealership, when they have an entire yard full of cars to pick from at an auction, pick the one with unibody damage that's going to cause them all kinds of surus later? They're not. What they're going to do is they're going to pick the ones, 90% of them, that don't have unibody damage, and those are the ones they're going to bid on. We've spoken because I wanted to make sure that this was for real.
Can I just say one
Can I
thing?
finish? Or you
I'm
don't
sorry.
want to hear the stuff that doesn't help you?
I'm sorry,
We've
ma'am.
spoken to the auction house. It did not have unibody damage. So here's where we are. You have no loss and they did nothing wrong. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So how am I going to turn around, look at them and say, pay her some money? There's more you want to say? You don't take yes for an answer. Okay.
I will take yes, but I did just want to let you know, to answer your question, this was a loan at a high interest rate. So the payoff was on the contract. So the dealership was trying to take that car in to make themselves look better on their gross on the deal.
Say that again.
They over-allowed on the contract to pay off the bank because the interest rate was high. So on the contract, you're going to see $16,000, and that's really why there's absolutely no proof. I knew this coming in.
But they don't do anything different than the numbers I see here.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's conclusive that the other dealer was just trying to take this car in for less money by saying it had frame damage.
But the less money was 16.
Exactly. So she did get 16 towards her new loan.
Right.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Right. Now we're done.
We're done? Okay.
Yeah, we're done. I mean, it couldn't be worse for you. Yeah,
No,
let's see if
that's
it could.
but-
Come on, give me a chance.
No, it's okay. I got a new car. I'm happy. But
Right,
I just want to show that they've been doing this for years. I have other people that have the same thing.
Let me see.
That's off to dealerrater.com.
If I can just say something about DealerRater.
Yeah.
It's like you can vote without being a citizen. You can mention my dealership without being a customer. So DealerRater.
Why would I though?
Well, people come in, if they don't get approved, they can go on the website and talk bad about us.
That's just
It's
3
legal
reviews.
extortion.
That's 3 reviews. I
Hold
have
on.
a whole bunch of them.
I understand. How many cars do you sell?
We do about 200 a month, new and used.
You know, you do know that Carfax shows no accident, right?
Yeah, but I know
Okay.
AutoCheck
So,
does.
so let me just ask you a question. What would they be doing wrong if they say Carfax shows no accident? They're telling you exactly what Carfax shows.
Because Carfax is not reliable. If you go to Consumer Reports in 2007, Carfax even settled a class
So
action
what?
suit
Okay, but
for
now
misleading.
here's what we have. We have them buying a car at auction that is not announced as a unibody damage because we now know that that information on AutoCheck is false. So they buy the car that doesn't have damage. It's not damaged while on their lot, and Carfax shows it clean. The concept behind liability is to punish them for doing something wrong. What did they do wrong? If the best you have is complaints from other people that we don't like this dealership and we're going to sue them, 3 complaints on an internet site, that doesn't change everything else I've already said. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
So the defendants won this case in the people's court. Stepping in here, the plaintiff, you understand the judge's verdict?
Yes, I do.
All right. And so she kept asking you at the end, what did they do wrong? What did they do wrong? If the Carfax came back clean, what did they do
The
wrong?
Carfax is misleading. AutoCheck, they should have ran AutoCheck and Carfax, and both of those reports should have been the same. If there was a discrepancy, then they should have done something about it. And there was a discrepancy.
So what are you driving now?
2012 Chevy Camaro.
Oh, look at you.
Brand new, not used.
All right,
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Right around the corner there. All right. So step on in here. All right, step on in. Everybody tries to make the used car salesman or any car salesman out to be the flim-flam man. Is that you?
No, we are very reputable. We really do take pride in our dealership. We don't want any of this to happen. We did come on here to let people know that there are people out there that do attack us as a dealership. And I did want to also say that we don't run auto checks at the dealership. That is a sales level is Carfax. Auto check is behind the scenes, and I'm a sales manager. So.
Harvey?
Okay, you guys are so smart. Seriously, no, you're so smart. Well, the bottom line here is that to prove fraud, you have to show that there was an intentional misrepresentation of a material fact. There is no proof in this case that the defendant knew about the accident. It's not fraud, and therefore the defendant wins.